Welcome to the ScanIT Quick Start guide and walkthrough video. In this video, we'll be looking at an overview of the various aspects of ScanIT, UCP Africa's core logging software package. We will have a look at the selectable options, the various user inputs and preferences of the package, which should allow you, our valued client, to have a base understanding of how to effectively operate ScanIT. Most importantly, we need to ensure that our core tray photographs have been taken using UCP Africa's methodology, which produces a high-resolution, undistorted core tray photograph. When you have your photographs, let's open the ScanIT program. First, you'll see a black screen. This is where we will be able to view our previously logged boreholes. If you have not logged any boreholes before in ScanIT, this will be blank. For our purposes, let's start creating a new borehole in ScanIT. We do this by clicking the File button on the top right of the Start screen and selecting New Borehole from the drop-down. We will then be presented with a page where we can input the relevant information of our borehole into. Should any of these fields be left blank, it would not negatively impact ScanIT in operation. Obviously, this excludes borehole ID. So let's start with this and move down the list. We can then include the responsible geologist's name and who the drilling company and supervisor are. Then we can select either top or bottom of core, indicating which side of the core the orientation line has been transcribed onto. This selection will ensure that ScanIT correctly calculates the dip and dip direction of your features in your orientated core samples. Next, we can input the type of orientation tool which was used if the project was orientated. Should we be working with an unorientated borehole, we can leave this blank. However, without orientated core, ScanIT will only be able to display the alpha angle of the recorded feature. We continue to complete the borehole information such as coordinate system, color coordinates, and borehole inclination and azimuth if these parameters are known at the time. Then we can select the machine learning options of what we would like ScanIT to do with the images we import. Once we are happy that we have included all of the relevant data, we click Create Borehole, select our desired save location, and then click Save. Welcome to the ScanIT user interface. Starting on the top left, we can see our borehole ID. This location is the ScanIT's action bar, where we will see which action ScanIT is currently working with. Then, panning from left to right, we can see the tab buttons. Firstly, Remove. We use this button to single-click remove any mark or feature in ScanIT. Next, we find Image. This tab is used to add or insert images into the program. Then we find Feature. Here we can add, edit, or even select created features. When we click Add Feature from the drop-down, we'll be presented with the ScanIT Feature Creator. Here we can create planar or linear features, primary and secondary lithologies, or even mineralogical and structural zones, all using a similar method to be created. Let's make a planar feature as an example quickly. Once you click the Save icon, ScanIT will automatically show us that we can use our recently created feature in the action bar. By pressing the Escape key, we can reset the action bar. We can also locate, select, and even edit our features by clicking the Features from the tab and then Select Feature. Here we can view all of our created features. We can edit the feature info by clicking the Edit pencil, delete the feature entirely by clicking the delete icon, or select the feature by clicking the feature itself. We then can move on to the Mark tab. This drop-down contains all the actions relating to marking the actual core, where we can add core blocks, natural and forced breaks, gains or losses, depth locations, where we would like our RQD calculations to start from, and even mark the end of the borehole. We have at our disposal a set of keyboard shortcut keys for most of the mark functions. We can either click the Mark tab and make our selection from the drop-down, or simply click B for core blocks, D for depth mark, F for forced break, N for natural break, L for loss, and G for gain. Next on the list is projections. This is where we can view and assess our data. By using views like UCP Africa's 3-dimensional orthographic projection to view your structural information in real space orientation, or even view your structural data on multiple views of a stereo net. We even have an option of a composite image, which is a continuous stitched image with your logged information presented alongside your core. We will be covering an in-depth look into the UCP Africa projections in our training video series. The next tab is BH data. This relates to all actions relating to the borehole and user preferences. Information such as survey, geological, and zone logs can be viewed. We can import and export data in and out of the program and even set some user parameters. If we select user preferences, we will be able to set our meter marking tolerances from 1 to 5 centimeters, select if you'd like to see adjacent trays in your core tray window, amend or edit the orientation tool name, and amend any machine learning abilities of the program. When we click Save, we set our specified user preferences for the borehole. Let's first add an image. We do this by clicking Image and Add Image from the drop-down. We locate and select our image and click Open. ScanIT then imports the image into the software, completes cropping and image processing as to the selected machine learning options pre-selected in the borehole setup page. One of the first things we need to confirm is that ScanIT has detected the circumference boundaries correctly. We do this by pressing and holding the Shift button and clicking and dragging the red line to match the circumference of the core. Let us now inspect our core depth markers. ScanIT has automatically read the UCP Africa core depth markers using optical character recognition and essentially immediately starts depth referencing your borehole's runs on import. In order for each run to correctly be depth referenced, we will first need to confirm each gap in the run. We can either click and drag the yellow force break slide bars to a correct length, or we can remove any incorrect gaps. We do this by clicking Remove and then by clicking on the infringing gap. An even more convenient way of removing any gap or feature in ScanIT is to simply hold down the Control key and click to remove the unwanted gap or feature. When our uphole and downhole rulers agree to the user-specified tolerances, they merge into a solid black ruler, showing the user that the run has been depth referenced. We can easily change between forced and natural breaks by simply right-clicking on the force break to change it to a blue natural break line. And just like that, we have depth referenced our core tray inside ScanIT. This process would need to be continued for the entirety of your borehole to ensure that any depth of any feature or lithology is accurately captured. Now, using the information we've discussed in this video, let's capture some recordings. We can create planar features which are natural breaks. This feature will indicate a small natural break at the axial depth of the feature and will allow us to calculate your RQD more accurately than ever before. We would capture our lithological information using the same method as planar features by marking the top contact of each primary lithology. ScanIT will populate your geological log accurately. For secondary lithologies and zones, we will need to mark the top and bottom contacts for each lithological unit. Once you have completely lithologically and structurally logged your borehole, you can export your data into an easy to read and to convert Excel spreadsheet, where you can easily get your recorded information into your mine modeling programs or database management software. We have released a more intensive training video series on each aspect of UCP Africa's ScanIT software. Just another way that UCP Africa offers added value to our clients. Contact us using the information displayed or view our website for more info.